Call the meeting of the Whittier Regional VOTEC School Committee to order. Please call the roll.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan, Mr. Rossi,
Present.
Ms. Coppinger,
Here?
Ms. Delai,
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Mr. Paglia,
Here.
Mr. Murphy, Ms. Lowell, Mr. Bowe,
Here.
Ms. True,
Here.
Ms. O'Connor,
Here.
Mr. Slavoski,
Here.
the chair.
Here. All please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance. Madam Superintendent, turn it over to you real quick to recognize a moment of silence for a staff member.
So I'd like to request a moment of silence for an electrical instructor that passed away this year. His name was Paul Menino. He was hired in August of 2004. He worked at Whittier for 21 years as an electrical instructor. He loved teaching, he loved music, and he had a profound impact on Whittier Tech. He had a strong faith, and I think that helped him over the last few months. But I really want to say he left a lasting legacy here at Whittier Tech. So if we could just have a moment of silence for him. Thank you.
Thank you. Those attending tonight's meeting should be aware that the meeting is being audio and video recorded by Whittier Tech. Any audience members who wish to record any part of the meeting must inform the chairperson who will announce the recording. This is to comply with the Mass Wiretap statute. First item on the agenda is public comment. Anybody here for public comment? Did we get any?
We did not.
We did not. All right. Next item on the agenda, approval of minutes, May 14, 2025, minutes of the regular school committee meeting. Is there a motion? Motion by Mr. Fitzgerald, second by Mr. Murphy. Any discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Rossi,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Abstain.
Ms. Delai,
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Mr. Paglia,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Bowe,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski,
Yes.
chair.
Passes. Payments of bills, financial report, treasurer's report. Mr. Mahoney, is there a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. True,
Second?
seconded by Ms. Coppinger. Any discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Rossi,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Yes.
Ms. Delai,
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Mr. Paglia,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Bowe,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski.
Yes.
Passes. Next item, annual vote to borrow from time to time if necessary. I don't know what that is, but
Carrie, do you want to discuss what that is?
I was gonna ask a question anyways.
Occasionally there is a delay in receiving the assessments from towns or sometimes from the state. So the authorization to borrow allows us to get short-term funds if that happens while we wait for the funds to come in. It has never happened since I've been here, but it's something that we need to have in place just in case the cash flow does not come in as it typically does.
any questions? Mr.
Have we
Early?
done that before?
Excuse me, I think in prior years we used to, long before I came here. I'm not sure that Chapter 70 money came in July and August in prior years, I don't know. And I think there may have been a different timing of the assessments when they come in, I'm not sure. But again, being a regional school district, we depend on the cash flow to be when we need it, so it's just kind of an insurance policy. We've never had to do it while I've been here, and I don't think since superintendent's been here.
I
Any
still
further
don't
dis-
understand it.
Well, I get, on that, I have a question. So this is the first year where,
No, we do it
this
every
vote
year.
every year.
oh, we voted?
We do this vote every year.
Oh, I thought
For
that
example,
was-
there are some expenses that have to be paid immediately in July. The
So this is
assessment,
an annual thing
Yeah.
that you have done?
we do it, but we've never had to use it. It's like an insurance policy.
Is there a motion to approve the annual vote to borrow from time to time?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Murphy,
Second.
seconded by Ms. Drew. Any discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Rossi,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger.
Yes.
Ms. Delai.
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Mr. Paglia. Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
Mr. Bo.
Yes.
Ms. True.
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor.
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski.
Yes.
Passes. Communications, student representative report, students not here. 2024-25 retiree recognition, Madam Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Tonight, I have 3 retirees. 2 are here. I'll start with the person that is not here, Diana Bartolo, our school nurse. She has been here since August 2019. I believe she worked in the Haverhill Public Schools prior to that. She has worked in our evening programs and CTI programs. She's just a very calming source down in the nurse's office, where it can be sometimes very hectic, and I just really want to thank her for her service here at Whittier Tech for the last 6 years. Next, I have Nella. Nella, I still can't say your last name. Thank you. Nella H. She's been a cosmetology teacher. She was a substitute teacher. She started off as a substitute teacher in 2014. She brought consistency to that program that was really struggling, and she did an amazing work with a program that was really, there were some issues in there, and she really brought calmness. And when we hired her permanently in 2016, she's done amazing work in there. And I just really want to thank you, Nella, for your service and your help here for the last, 9 years? I can't believe it's been that long, but I really want to thank you. I know you worked really hard to bring that program to where it is today, and I just really appreciate the work that you've done over the years, so thank you, Nella.
Thank you.
And next is Janet Brown. Janet Brown has been with us for 32 years. Is that your whole career teaching, Jana? Is that your whole career in teaching?
Yes, yes.
So you're,
I've been teaching at Lawrence High and then here since I was 29 years old.
wow. So Jana, she has left a lasting legacy here at Whittier Tech. She's not only social studies, but she's been a United Nations advisor. And so yearly, there's the trip to UMass Lowell. There's always been a story with the UMass Lowell, but we've always done very well in those programs and in those competitions. Jana has held herself with so much class. We all have been commenting that she's still smiling as she walks into the building, and I think she'll be smiling when she leaves, maybe especially. But I just really want to thank you for your work and your time and your dedication to our kids. 32 years in one building says a lot about who you are and what you've done, and I just really want to thank you for your lasting legacy here at Whittier Tech. So thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Lynch. And I think it also says a lot about the school when you have somebody stay for that long. And I did want to mention while I was here, thank you to everybody. It has been an amazing career. I would not change a thing. But I also wanted to thank you for your support of the Mother UN program. I came in here in 1993 as a new teacher, wanted to start a new club, a new class, and I got nothing but support for it through this administration and every previous administration. So I really appreciated that, and I'm really happy to see that it is going to continue after I leave. So that's a wonderful thing for me, and I've just had an amazing career. Thank you so much.
Great.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jana. Thank you, Nella. Appreciate it. We'll be talking more about you on Tuesday. Lucky you.
Thank you
Thank
both
you.
for everything you've done, and good luck with what you both have in store in your future. Thank you.
You two look too young to retire.
The principal assistant superintendent, Mr. Leganis, I don't see him.
He is not here, but Ms. Jensen, the associate principal, is going to give an update on the student parent handbook.
Will Gaines get the day off?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Superintendent Lynch, and school committee members. Yes, I am going to just give you a quick overview of the changes that were made in the handbook and answer any questions you have. I'd like to start off by saying that the school lawyers have looked at the handbook and made sure and changed anything to make sure that we continue to be in compliance with any non-discrimination statements, Title IX, all of that has been looked over, so we continue to stay in compliance. On pages 9 and 10, we did change and add a perfect attendance statement so that it was very clear to all what perfect attendance is. We also, on page 12, changed our arrival time for consistency, so we wanted to make sure that, again, very clear to everybody. Page 14 starts the cell phone policy, and the last couple of years we've been piloting cell phone boxes in the academic classrooms and the vocational areas. It has been extremely successful, so the change in the handbook now says it is a must. When students enter their classroom or their shop area, they must power off their cell phone and put it into the cell phone box. That way that there's less distraction for the students, they don't have them in the bathroom, and it has been working, so we're just making that change.
Did you have any problems with that this year with anybody?
No, like I say, the teachers that have been piloting it, it's been a huge success. It's basically now an expectation. One of the things during the pilot we found is students weren't prepared to go into the workforce, like during their co-op job. They always had their cell phone and they were getting disciplined because the cell phone was part of them. And we want to model for them, like, what is it going to be like at your job? You can't have your cell phone. If you're in the nursing home or a healthcare facility, you have to be paying attention to your patients, not what notification is coming up, because as we all know, because we all have them, notifications are like every 5 seconds depending on what you are subscribing to. So it has made a huge difference, and we really haven't gotten any pushback. The teachers love it, because again, it's just an expectation, and it helps that this will make it school-wide, so now it's all staff. So now it's every class they go into, to power off your phone, put it into the cell phone box. Every time they're in shop, power it off, put it into the cell phone box. So I think it's just going to streamline, and again, make a better expectation for when they're on the job. Pages 17 and 18 are the food service policy, which again was taken for updates. It must obviously need an update, so we edited that. Pages 52 to 63 is all the bullying and prevention and intervention, and again, updated to make sure that we're in compliance as to any law changes or wording changes of that sort. And then 67 through 70 is our new National Technical Honor Society. Again, just for clarity and awareness. How do you get into the program? What do students need? We added a community service aspect to it, so that, because we feel like that's important, so that kids have to do community service hours through their time with that club. So that we added that, and then the last big changes are in the appendices for all the new school committee policies that you all have been working on all year. All of that has been updated and put into the handbook. So if you have any questions or other comments, just let me know.
Any questions?
On the cyberbullying, I noticed it did kind of include outside the school behavior. Is that new, or is that, I know it's probably a state requirement.
No, we luckily we have some great people in the technology department, in the IT department, as well as our assistant principals and our school resource officer. And I have to tell you, parents, we have a great communication with the community. They let Mr. Leganis know, and then he just gets the other people deployed to find out what's going on. But no, that's been a common thing. Like if kids are doing something outside, they let us know.
The expectation is something comes outside and comes into the school.
Yeah.
Right,
We need to do
exactly.
something
Yeah.
about that.
Right.
Other questions? There a motion to approve the handbook?
Motion to approve the handbook.
Motion by Ms. Drew, seconded by
Second.
Mr. Rossi. Any discussion? Seeing none, call the roll.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Rossi,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger.
Yes.
Ms. Delai.
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Mr. Paglia.
Yes.
Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
Mr. Bowe.
Yes.
Ms. True.
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor.
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski.
Yes.
Passes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Business Manager, Ms. Cosmas.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Madam Superintendent, and members of the committee. A couple of things for you tonight. First of all is a document, acceptance of donations. We are very fortunate and grateful to be the recipient of donations from generous individuals and businesses. And in accordance with school committee policy, and as outlined in the memo included in this month's packet, We are respectfully requesting that the school committee accept 17 donations that are totaling $82,425.50.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Wise. Second by Mr. Rossi. Call the roll.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger? Yes. Mr. Lai?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Paglia?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Bowe?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski?
Yes.
Passes.
Thank you. And usually at the last meeting, I like to update you on what the Whittier Tech Educational Foundation has done for the year. And as usual, we've had another very successful year. We had fundraising events that included the 7th annual golf tournament last August, and we also had a comedy night down in Newburyport in October that was very well attended and enjoyed by everyone that went. We also get donations throughout the year and at the holidays, so that is primarily how we raise funds for the foundation. I'm happy to report that over 153 students were helped during the holidays as well as throughout the year. When we would find a need, we would try to fill it if possible. 26 scholarships totaling $26,250 were awarded through the foundation to this year's senior class. And I want to say that the foundation board is grateful to all of the volunteers and supporters whose efforts and donations make all of this possible. And then just to let you know what's happening this year, on August 11th, the foundation will be hosting the 8th annual golf tournament. It will again be at Bradford Country Club. Anyone who might want to participate in any capacity can go onto the website and click on foundation. We have sponsorships available. We're always looking for donated items. You can join us for lunch. If you don't golf, we'd love to see you there. Or just see me if you have any questions about it or would like to participate in some way. And that's all I have for you tonight.
Thank you.
How many foursomes do you have, roughly?
No one has signed up yet. It's a little bit early, but we usually end up with about 120 golfers.
Thank you.
Questions?
Thank you.
Seeing none, thank you. Next item on the agenda is the liaison for Whittier Tech and Northern Essex Community College, Sean Reagan.
Good evening, school committee members, Superintendent Lynch. I'm going to be brief tonight, but I can report more good news on Whittier's proposed new high school and potential partnership with Northern Essex Community College. We'll be finalizing our district-wide commitment letter to the Massachusetts School Building Authority this coming Monday, when the letter is presented to Superintendent Lynch after being signed by local leaders from all 11 of the district cities and towns. The letter, which will be signed by mayors, select board chairs, and town managers, will allow the proposed shared campus project to proceed into the next stage of state consideration this summer. The municipal working group, which is made up of representatives from each of our 11 district communities, is meeting this Monday afternoon, June 16th, right here at the school to celebrate this important milestone with a ceremonial signing and presentation of the MSBA required letter by community leaders, and they'll be presenting it to Superintendent Lynch. A brief ceremony will be held at the Whittier football field Monday afternoon. The event will highlight our working group, community partners, and Whittier Tech student representatives. This is a significant moment in this process as we show unity among all the communities to bring everyone involved together around our shared vision for the future of our students in the region. As a reminder, the letter required by the MSBA by July 1 commits our cities and towns to 3 important steps: creating a new Whittier Tech Regional School District Agreement, supporting the district during the feasibility study phase to examine the 2 proposed sites. That's right here, the Whittier property and the NECO campus. And thirdly, acknowledging that the district will pay for the feasibility study. After the football field ceremony, the group will return to the Poets End for its annual monthly meeting. The agenda includes a discussion of next steps in the MSBA process going forward, scheduling future meetings of the working group, a site assessment update, and an overview of the project's communications plan moving forward. We are also planning another celebration in early August at Whittier Tech's annual Career Technical Institute graduation ceremony, where we will mark the official start of the MSBA eligibility period. As a reminder of the MSBA schedule, the feasibility study is expected to begin in the summer of 2026, next summer. That study will establish design and cost estimates for the proposed new Whittier Tech High School and the creation of a new regional agreement with the state and the college as partners. That's all I have tonight. Happy to try to answer any questions.
Any questions?
What's the date of that meeting that
Uh,
referred to on Monday?
Monday?
This Monday?
Yes, this Monday, 16th.
What time is that?
The meeting starts at 2:30, and we expect to be over the football field, 15 to 20 minutes after that.
So the actual signing's at 2:30?
About 2:45.
Okay.
We're gonna all meet here, go over to the football
We're
field.
right here?
Yep, and then we're gonna go to the football field and present it to the superintendent, the working group, the community leaders.
And so for basically a year, we're waiting to get into the slot, to get the feasibility study.
Yeah, the state, MSBA sets up a process, and they've asked us, for those 3 points that we've been, discussing for the past couple months. Now that we've reached agreement on that, this will be a big benchmark for them. Then they'll have a meeting, and they'll presumably vote to, put us into the next part of the process.
So,
That would be in August.
yeah, MSBA has very rigid modules and timelines that you have to
Yep.
meet. This first one, eligibility stage, starts on August 1st and will pretty much take us an entire year to complete. And at that point, you're looking at who's gonna be on your school building committee, what is the size of the school building you're looking at, those kinds of things as you move forward with eligibility. Then you move, once you completed eligibility, MSBA has a vote and then moves you into feasibility study. So it's a very kind of rigid timeline and process that we need to follow.
Mr. Ross?
Do you have the summer meeting schedule for that too?
So that's one of the things that we're gonna set up on Monday, after the ceremony. We're gonna talk about when we're gonna meet over the summer.
Can
And
that get communicated out to us?
Yeah, of course.
Right, like not waiting till the meeting, like once we get it, can it be emailed out? Yeah.
Sure.
Great, that's
Yep, I'll send it to you guys as soon as we have it.
great, thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, thank you.
All right, thank you. Good night.
Yeah. Mr. Early, you've started a really bad behavior among everyone, so when you want to be recognized to speak, just
Thank you.
raise your hand and
I
I'll recognize
apologize.
you. No free-for-all. Next item on the agenda is reports and recommendations of the superintendent. Madam Superintendent.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Thank you for us finishing out this school year, which we will be finishing out on Tuesday. On Thursday, May 15th, I attended the Amesbury City Council meeting along with Kara Cosmas. We did our budget presentation and overview of what Amesbury students are doing here at Whittier Tech. On Monday, May 19th, I attended the Salisbury Town meeting along with Kara Cosmas. On Tuesday, May 20th, I attended the DESI board meeting. The board did vote in favor of a lottery for admissions beginning the freshman class of 2026. I'm awaiting guidance from DESI on how to proceed with the lottery because there's the weighted lottery, there's the unweighted lottery, there's a lot that we're gonna have to work through over the next year as we move forward with that process. On Tuesday, May 20th, I attended the remote meeting with President Lane Glenn. These meetings are helpful for us to touch base and provide updates with one another about what's going on here in our schools. On Tuesday, May 20th, I attended the Newburyport City Council meeting along with Kara Cosmas, Brett Murphy, and Mary Delay. On Wednesday, May 21st, I attended the MAS Executive Committee meeting in Marlborough. A new Commissioner of Education will be beginning on July 1st. His name is Pedro Martinez, and he's from the Chicago area. On Thursday, May 22nd, I attended the MAS President's Annual Spring Meeting in Marlborough. On May 27th and June 10th, I had remote meetings with Allerton Associates, our PR company, and these are meetings that we have every other week to plan out our weeks of work. On May 27th, I attended the senior prom. It was an amazing night, and I was proud of all of our students. We had it in Salisbury at the Blue Ocean. I want to thank the chaperones and all of our students for this amazing event. It really was beautiful. It was actually one of the sunny nights that we've had this spring. On Thursday, May 29th, we had the Whittier Tech graduation, and again, the weather held out for us. I know many of you were there, and I really want to thank you for attending. The class of 2025 did a wonderful job. I really want to thank our class advisors because they really have a lot of work to make sure that happens. Alex Belhuli, Melissa Cook, and Kristen Bucko, along with our maintenance department. They did a beautiful job, and it was a beautiful ceremony because of their hard work. On Monday, June 2nd, I, along with the Skills USA teachers, advisors, and students, went to the Merrimack River, and we dropped 2 booms. into the river. These booms collect trash and microplastics. We did this project with Rocky Morrison and the Clean River Project. Again, it was one of the nicer days, so it was great to be out on the river, and we've been receiving pictures about what is actually being collected with these booms, and it is pretty amazing. It's great work that they are doing. On Monday, June 2nd, I attended the Haverhill City Council meeting along with Kara Cosmas, Dick Early, and Scott Wood. They voted unanimously for our budget. At this point, we have a budget for next year. So on Thursday, June 5th, I attended the remote Northern Essex Mass Development Study discussion. And today I attended a meeting with DESE to review the school year, including our co-op placements, safety, and our CTE programs. I want to talk a little bit about what Mr. Regan just talked about. We're having our ceremonial signing day with all the towns are in agreement to move forward with MSBA. A formal letter will be forwarded to MSBA in the hopes that we can begin our eligibility in August of this school year. So it's been a lot of work. The municipal leaders have been truly amazing, coming up with solutions and finding ways to make this happen for Whittier Tech, for our kids, for our region, and providing a workforce for that. So they really have done amazing work. And they're busy people, and they show up, and they come to these meetings, and they contribute, and I really am so grateful for their work for this year. So that is all I have for you tonight.
Thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, next item on the agenda, new business, MASC Joint Conference Delegates. Don't everybody jump at once. Volunteers. Everybody is jumping at once, under the table.
Mr. Chairman, I thank you for the warning. The new guy wouldn't have known that.
Anybody at all? All right, well, we got none right now. I guess we could put it on for the next agenda. Anyone who wants to think about it, I think it's in, was it November? Unfortunately, it's at the Cape in November, and I don't really know too many people that want to go to the Cape in November, but
It's actually not that bad. It's just,
god awful.
I just wanna go down there by myself.
I'll go.
So, okay, because I've been
Lisa,
the
did you say you
alternate.
wanted to go?
No, Maureen.
Oh, I thought I heard you say.
I've been the alternate, but I think that if you are on it, that you have to show up, I think, a day in advance,
Wednesday.
right?
Why don't you think about it? And
Think about it.
I would like to.
See if you can recruit an
Because,
alternate.
that's a
I think
good
Mr.
idea.
Early might be interested.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
can talk to him after the
Little
meeting.
golfing, maybe?
All right, we'll come back to this. We've got a couple months.
Okay, good.
Summer meeting schedule. What is the wish of the committee?
so if we were to do the second Wednesday of the month, it would be July 9th. And then August 13th.
Is everybody okay with that? What do you guys want to do?
July 9th. Yeah.
Change.
Okay,
So we do need a meeting in July?
we're gonna go with July 9th and what? August what?
In the past, we haven't had a meeting in July, and we've just waited until August, but that is up to the committee.
I'm okay with the meeting in July. It's up to everyone else.
I'm not around that on July 9th.
gonna say, I would move to not have our July meeting.
You wanna make a motion not to have a July meeting? Motion by Ms. Coppinger not to have a July meeting. Is there a second?
I would second.
Seconded by Ms. True. Call the roll.
Oh, that was.
What's yes mean?
Yes means no meeting.
Is there any recommendation, discussion about whether we need a meeting? Is there any anticipation?
So if I need a meeting, I can call a meeting and let people know. Right now, I don't. We're gonna have to have a meeting later on this month for the contract, so,
Okay.
and that will probably be a Zoom.
I'm gonna vote no. Because I think we should have a meeting in the summer. I don't know. I always did over the course of my career, so I have no problem with the meeting in the summer. Call the
Okay.
roll.
Mr. Early?
No,
No.
no.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Delai?
No.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Paglia?
No.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Bo?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski?
Yes.
Chair votes no. But I think it passes.
It passed.
Next item on the agenda is superintendent's evaluation results. Everybody should have the packet. We'll go over it quickly here. Did everybody get a copy of the packet? So, going through it real quick, professional practice goals, all members voted, participated. 69.2% believe the superintendent met, and then 30.8 exceeded on professional practice. Student learning, 69.2 met, 30.8 exceeded. District improvement goals, 46.2 exceeded, 30.8 met, and 23.1 significant progress. Instructional leadership is 53.8 exemplary, 46.2 proficient. Management and operations, 61.5% exemplary, 38.5 proficient. Family and community engagement, 61.5 proficient, 38.5 exemplary. Professional culture, 61.5% exemplary, 38.5% proficient. The overall summative performance, based on step 1 and step 2 rankings, 61.5 exemplary, 38.5 proficient. Next is rate on impact on student learning, 84.6 is high, 15.4 is moderate. There are some comments, we can get back to that stuff, let me get through everything here. Professional practice budget, to design and implement a budget which meets the educational and fiscal needs of Whittier District. 53.8% is met. Doesn't say the percentage on significant progress, but there's a box there. Some progress is 7.7, and 30.8 is exceeded. Next, student learning, to provide guidance and support necessary for the administration, faculty, and support staff to achieve goals and objectives, strategic plan and school improvement plan. 46.2 met, 38.5 exceeded, and 15.4 significant progress. District improvement, to improve and enhance communications with constituents and stakeholders concerning the mission, vision, and activities. 53.8% exceeded, 30.8% met, 7.7% would have been some progress, and then significant progress. Again, for some reason, that number didn't come out on there. Other goals, professional practice in general, personnel management, to work collaboratively with the school committee to facilitate and implement a shared vision, to recruit, hire, and develop the team of highly qualified administrators and educational staff to foster an environment which is conducive to good teaching and learning. 53.8% met, 38.5 exceeded, and 7.7% significant. Curriculum ensures all instructional staff design effective and rigorous standards based on the units of instruction. 61.5 proficient, 38.5 exemplary. Instruction ensures that practices in all settings reflect high expectations regarding content and quality of effort and work, engage all students, and are personalized to accommodate diverse learning styles, needs, and interests. 69.2% exemplary, 30.8% proficient. Assessment ensures the principals and administrators facilitate practice that propel personnel to use a variety of format and informal methods and assessments to measure student learning, growth, and understanding. 61.5% proficient, 38.5 exemplary. Ensures effective and timely supervision and evaluation of all staff. 69.2% proficient, 30.8 exemplary. Data-informed decision-making, uses multiple sources of evidence related to student learning. 53.8 proficient, 46.2 exemplary. Overall rating for Standard 1, the educational leader promotes the learning and growth of all students and the success of all staff. It's shared vision. 53.8 exemplary, 46.2 proficient. Environment develops and executes effective plans, procedures, and routines to address a full range of safety, health, emotional, and social needs. 61.5% exemplary, 38.5% proficient. Human Resource Management and Development, 84.6 proficient, 15.4 exemplary. Scheduling and Management Information Systems, 61.5% proficient, 38.5 exemplary. Law, Ethics, and Policies, understands and complies with state, federal laws, mandates, school committee policies, collective bargainings, and ethical guidelines, 61.5% proficient, 7.7% needs improvement, and 30.8% exemplary. Fiscal Systems, develop a budget that supports the district's vision, mission, and goals, 53.8 exemplary, 30.8 proficient, 15.4% needs improvement. Overall rating for Standard 2, the educational leader promotes the learning and growth of all students and the success of all staff by assuring a safe, sufficient, and effective learning environment, 61.5 exemplary, 38.5 proficient. Engagement actively ensures that all families are welcome members of the classroom and school community and can contribute to the effectiveness of the classroom, 69.2% proficient, 30.8% exemplary. Sharing responsibility, 61.5% proficient, 38.5 exemplary. Communications, 69.2% proficient, 30.8 exemplary. Family concerns, addresses family and community concerns, 76.9 is proficient, 23.1 is exemplary. Overall rating for Standard 3, the educational leader promotes the learning and growth of all students and the success of all staff through effective partnerships with families, communities, organizations, and other stakeholders, 69.2 proficient, 30.8 exemplary. Commitment to high standards, fostered a shared commitment to high standards of service, teaching, and learning with high expectations, 69.2% exemplary, 30.8 proficient. Culture proficiency, 61.5% exemplary, 38.5 proficient. Communication, 46.2 exemplary and 53.8 proficient. Continuous learning, 53.8 proficient, 46.2 exemplary. Shared vision, 61.5% exemplary, 38.5% proficient. Managing conflict, 61.5% proficient, 38.5 exemplary. Overall rating for Standard 4, the educational leaders promotes the learning and growth of all students and the success of all staff, 61.5% exemplary, 38.5 proficient. And that is it. Any comments from the members of the committee? Mr. Early.
How many responses were there? 13?
Yes.
I got two of them, one with 12 and one with 13.
It's the 13 one.
13?
Yeah.
I put the new one on your table
All
today.
right.
That had
13.
the 13.
Any other questions, comments? Mr. Early.
Overall, I think if you look at everybody's response and what the average is, it shows that I believe the superintendent's doing a great job. I mean, there's always room for improvement, I will say that. I mean, I'm tough on that, but overall, if you look at this, I think it speaks for itself. Great job, everybody that answered it.
Anyone else? Questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none. Next item on the agenda. Huh? Oh, actually, we have to vote to accept the superintendent's evaluation results. Somebody want to make a motion?
to approve
Motion
the
by Mr. Murphy,
superintendent's evaluation.
seconded by Mr. Fitzgerald. Any discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Early.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi.
Yes.
Ms. Coffinger.
Yes.
Ms. Delai.
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Mr. Paglia. Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
Mr. Bowe.
Yes.
Ms. True.
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor.
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Next item on the agenda, review of subcommittees. Ms. Delai.
Thank you, and I'm hoping the third time is a charm on this one. So I appreciate the extra time to sort of frame the objective here, and at the suggestion of at least one member of the committee, I actually took a look at the MASC policy on subcommittees, policy BDE. And what I actually discovered is that there is a notation on the MASC model policy that addresses the very thing that I was requesting. And it's online, you can read it, but I'll just read it to you. It's at the very end, at the bottom. It says, if school committee policy permits standing committees, which ours does, the current standing subcommittees should be included in the policy, and regulations may be needed on their duties and operations, or the duties of specific committees sometimes are included as an informational document coded BD-E. So I did look, and it does turn out that we do have Whittier districts, member districts, that have policies that follow this same recommendation, Newburyport and Pentucket being two examples of that. So, with that as context, and I have this written down if you need the written motion.
Thank you.
I would like to make a motion that the policy subcommittee review and revise policy BDE to conform to the MASC recommendations for standing subcommittees, including their duties and operations.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Murphy. Discussion. Mr. Early.
What does a yes vote mean and what does a no vote mean?
A yes vote would
Send it
approve the motion that she it would send it to policy subcommittee for the reasons Mr. Lai stated. A no would not send it anywhere. Mr. Murphy.
So when it goes to policy, policy's gonna come up with, I don't wanna call them rules, but roles of the subcommittees.
Yep. And bring it back to the full committee for approval.
Anyone else?
I'm new, so forgive me, but I'll ask the simple question. What is the problem? And what is the solution?
Not so much a problem, just a question of which standing committees exist. There was confusion around the fact that we have policies that reference, for example, a finance subcommittee, but we don't have a finance subcommittee. We do have an executive subcommittee. There's no reference to any of the other standing committees within it. So it's just really kind of addressing gaps in information to make it very clear. These are the standing subcommittees that we have, and this is what they do.
Clarity is
Yeah.
the problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
So there's a
Mr.
motion on the
Rossi?
table?
Yes. Mr. Rossi?
So are there specific actions that have to come out of that policy, or are they gonna look at that policy and develop our own policies? Do we have to follow the MSC policy exact, or is it something that our policy committee will look at and design something?
You can design any policy you want. You don't have to follow the MASC.
Okay,
It's just a guidance document.
gotcha. Okay.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Early,
No.
Mr. Rossi,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Yes.
Mr. Lai,
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Mr. Paglia,
No.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Bo,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski.
Yes.
Passes. Sent to policy subcommittee. Reports of the special committees, executive, there is none. Instructional personnel, Ms. True.
We haven't met, and I'm not sure if we need to, maybe in the fall?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Murphy, plant operations.
Plan operations has not met up until tonight. Those meeting minutes will be in the next packet
All right.
for the next meeting.
Salary and negotiations, Mr. Early.
Yeah, this is a good one. I wanna thank everybody that was on the committee, everybody that was involved, both sides. It was quite a thing, but we're gonna talk about it when we go into executive session.
All right. And policy doesn't have a chairperson. I have to appoint the policy subcommittee, so I will do that. Next item on the agenda is a motion to enter executive session pursuant to MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21, for the following purposes, and not to return to open session, to discuss strategy with respect to and in preparation for collective bargaining with unionized personnel, namely the WREA Teachers Union, because an open session may have detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the committee. To discuss strategy with respect to and in preparation for collective bargaining with unionized personnel, namely the Support Staff Association, because an open session may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the committee. Purpose number 2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, namely the 12-month staff, because an open session may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the committee, and to conduct contract negotiations with non-union personnel, namely the 221 administrators and plant facilities manager, because an open session may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the committee. Is there a motion that says that? Somebody?
I'll make a motion to
Mr.
enter
Fitzgerald.
executive session.
Second?
Second.
Either Mr. Lai or Ms. Coppinger. Call the roll on going into executive session.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Mr. Lai?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Paglia? Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Bo?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski?
I will abstain.
Committee's going into executive session.
Garrett Cosmos can stay, the business manager.